Good evening. How are we this evening? Are we all good? My voice is going to be a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Strangled? We'll go with strangled. That's the best way I can put it because I decided to have some naughty drink last night. So that's always fun. But I'm okay. I'm making things wobble apparently. I'm okay. I just feel a little bit rough, to be honest. Oh, now you're here. Now it's showing text there. Okay. This is slightly different. Chat no show. Right, what have I done? Why is it not showing? Oh. Why not showing? Oh, God knows. Hello, Jaleesa. Oh, there we go. It's not showing everything. Why is it not? Why? You know what? Putting it on a black background is probably a bad idea. I have broken it already. This is no great surprise. How are we all doing this evening, morning, or afternoon, depending what time it is? Let's turn that down a bit. Where we are. Are we all good? How are we doing? What are we reading? Are we having a good day? Did we have a good weekend? I can go away. Don't need that. Put it on boxed. You see, this is why I shouldn't do things. Okay, it's set to box, so we'll see if that fixes it. How are you doing, Jaleesa? Weekend is never, ever long enough. To put it mildly. I need to say I'm really enjoying the ritual. I'm about 65% of the way through now. And I've got to say it's my jam. It really is. I love a slow folk tale, so that's always fun. What is everyone reading at the moment? I've just realised I don't know what Noah's reading as well. So it's telling me to sign into chat, but it's showing me the chat on the thing. Naked in Death. Oh, is that the better table? Is that the JD Robb one that you were reading? And what's Jenny reading? How's Hooked coming along? Are you still reading that? Or has that been put back down again? Out of curiosity. I think next time I might get rid of the I might alter this. Actually. Oh well. Live and learn. Live and learn. So this is for hitting 150 subscribers. And saying I'd do it today after D&D last night was probably not the best of ideas I've ever had. Because I'll be honest, I'm a bit rough. Perfect piece by Daniel Black. I saw you had a Ito book. I really want to know about Cursed Bunny, actually, because that's the collection of, is it Korean short stories? Am I remembering that correctly? You go back every now and then. I don't blame you. I don't think I'd want to read that all the way through. But yeah, I'm really curious about Cursed Bunny. It's one that I've been looking at potentially picking up a few times over the last year. I never quite got round to it for whatever reason. So that's fun. Let's put that over there. Yeah, I don't understand why 150 people have subscribed. I wouldn't subscribe to me. I appreciate everyone. Anyway, is that going to start playing sound if I press it? No? Good. Oh, really? Okay. I might have to add that to my my horror reads for July when we do that. Which I will put, actually, speaking of July, I will put all the horror books into Noah's Discord later on. I was going to do it earlier, but I was too busy having a bit of a freak out. So, I did say that I would be doing the Get to Know Me tag, which Noah tagged me in back in September. I think it was September. It was a long time ago. So, yeah. So, if anybody, well, to be fair, a few of you know too much about me as it is anyway. So, but people can ask me whatever they want. I might not answer, but might as well just crack on with it, Anna. I'm currently reading Orphan Planet by Rex Burke, which was one of the books I got in the thingy book. Just a tad late. I don't like people knowing about me. You know, you can't take people by surprise if they know about you. So, why is it cutting off the edges of the... There we go. Let's fix that. Yeah, just a little bit late. Just a little bit. So 24 questions. All that, I fixed it. It's probably something I've got weirdly set up on my computer, to be honest. Not book related. Fabledom is now out on full release. A little cutesy city builder. So I might be streaming that at some point relatively soon. Anyway, Get to Know Me tag. 24 questions. We'll see how much detail I go into on this one. It's 35% off on Steam as well, Noah. So number one, what's your channel about? Disappointment. No. Books. So originally, I started off with a gaming channel and was going to do book stuff on there. And then I split the book stuff off and then ended up closing my gaming channel. And then fetching it back again. Perfect Peace is good. A family has 7 boys and the mother gives birth to the 7th and raises them as a girl. Okay. That sounds interesting. I'm not quite sure how to feel about that. It's like raised as a girl from being a baby, or as the child grew up and wanted to identify that way. Only 3 people know the truth. Oh, wow. Okay, that sounds... Is it banned by any chance in many places? It sounds like the sort of thing that get banned over there. Are you enjoying it though? Is it proving to be good? You've said it's good. I can see where you've put is good. So you know, Jaleesa, this is me hungover. So because I overindulged last night for the first time in a long time. Oh wow, okay. That's that's a statement. So, what's your channel about? So, this is a booktube channel, which means it's unsurprisingly about books. Generally speaking, it is fiction books with a skewing towards YA or fantasy. That's if you class YA as a genre. I don't really, but there we go. Also talk about audiobooks, all that jazz. We'll be talking about manga when I actually start reading the massive pile that I bought. Yeah, I've not drank. I mean, to be fair, it's 7:30 at night now, so I have had the day to recover. But when I woke up this morning, my voice was proper low and raspy. Noah is also not well, although his is actually illness. So we probably just all infected each other last night. So that's always fun. Yeah, Sambuca, I have decided, is the devil. But there we go. So yeah, booktube channel, mainly reviews, some tag videos. We'll maybe start doing lives more often. We shall have to wait and see. So there we go. Number 2, how old are you? Well, I'm ancient. I'm 41. This makes me very sad. So, yeah, I'm not young. Relationship status, aggressively single, is the term that I use for that. I have been single for many, many, many years. I am divorced, and I intend it to. I love you, Jenny. I really do. I do look forward to it. Aggressively single does work. I don't like people. This is the problem. Don't really like people that much, so I tend to be a bit yeah, spiky. Plus, that involves talking to people I don't know. So dating apps are for other people. Did you go to college and what's your current job? That should be two separate questions. But so by I love that term. I'm stealing that. Nerve munchers. We'll do the job one first. I work as a supervisor in retail. I worked in retail since I was 16, part-time and full-time, be it in big high street chains or supermarkets, as I do now. So I have to deal with people all the time, which explains my hatred of said people. Did I go to college? So I'm going to assume by college this means the American version of college, which I think is what we call university. So I went through, did my GCSEs to 16. Then I went to college from 16 to 18, where I did history, law, psychology, and politics. At A level, on AS level. And then I was accepted to do a degree in history at the local university. And I decided not to, for a number of reasons. Mainly they didn't have I wanted to do ancient history, and they didn't have that course available. So, okie dokie, buddy. Where are you from and where do you live now? Both of those answers are the same. So I'm not going to give my address, for obvious reasons. But northwest of England. And whilst, generally speaking, I refer to it as Manchester because it's easier for people to understand. It's actually the city of Salford that I live in, which, is bizarre because literally they are right next to each other and Salford falls under the Greater Manchester area. But, why have things simple? Specifically, I live quite far on the outskirts, so it's where it's basically on the border. So I have lots of farmland and waterways and all sorts around me. So I joke that where I live, you can fall onto the motorway, into a ditch, into a canal, into a river, or onto a main road, all within a 10-minute walk of each other. And that isn't too far from the truth. Also train tracks. They're pretty much next to a train station. And I've lived here most of my life. I've moved around like Greater Manchester and Salford a few times, lived in a few different places. But most of my life I was brought up where I live now, and I moved back here about 10 years ago, back into the area. I didn't move too far away from here, admittedly, because I don't drive, but there we go. What would you tell your 10-year-old self? To not grow up is probably the biggest one. I would never tell myself that it'll be alright, because I don't believe that. I would say probably follow your gut more. As I've got older, I've stopped doing that, and unfortunately that's been a problem. So, there we go. Follow your gut. Press that big red button. Tell us about your family. So, as mentioned, I am divorced. I have 3 wonderful children who this year hit 20 years old, 15 and 10. 2 boys, middle one's a girl. Yeah, adulthood is terrible. Following your gut is not good advice if you're like me, because I am incredibly impulsive as my book buying escapades go. If I did that with every other aspect in my life, I would be even poorer than I am now. So yeah, I 3 kids, divorced. Um, Brought up by my grandmother and my dad. No memories of my mum, and an only child. So my grandmother passed away over a decade ago. At this point, she was 94. We live a very long time. Yeah, so very small family. Interesting, useless fact about my family, but my last name was the last family to be gifted a royal coat of arms. So there we go. What's your favourite holiday? The one that sticks with me the most would probably be the first time I went to the US. Many, 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 many years ago when I went to California. Welcome back. I know. Considering she was given 6 months to live and she lasted another 10, it says something about the stubbornness that also runs through the family. Yeah, so first favourite holiday was when I went to the US. I've been 3 times. Twice to the... I really shouldn't do that. Twice to the West Coast, once to the East Coast. And the one I remember was like, it was about 1998, when Rat Race came out, if that helps anyone. If anybody remembers that film. Because we were actually in LA the week that it was premiering. And then we went to Vegas for a few days. I ended up watching it in the cinema at Vegas because, at that age, I can't really do much at Vegas. So, yeah, my dream vacation, I just want to go back to Yosemite. I am not a beachy person, but give me a big... I used to watch films quite a lot, Noah. I just don't watch them anymore. You've not watched Doctor Who yet. You can't judge me. So, yeah, I'd love to go back to Yosemite, that big woodland area. The idea of a cabin in the woods is my idea of a dream. I would love... Oh, Velocipasta. I'm shocked that Michelle and Kieran have seen that, actually. They were speaking very highly of it, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Yeah, want to go back to Yosemite. Love to see the giant redwoods again. I remember the amazing... I remember where we climbed up to, but sort of the valleys and the peaks. Absolutely beautiful. I remember when we went, we obviously had the cabins and they had bear-proof locks on the inside. And the bear-proof lock was basically a hook and latch that wouldn't keep my children out of a room. And we'd been drinking down at the local bar till quite late, walking back. And my dad ran off, not sober, and hid under the chalet and jumped out at everybody, pretending to be a bear. That was fun. Yeah. Now, number 10, what's your biggest pet peeve? Noah, what am I like for pet peeves? You know me well enough. I have so many. If it's books, we'll keep it to books because booktube. I have a scroll. I have a whole library of pet peeves. People who don't dog ear their books, that's a pet peeve. No, it's not. But in terms of books, unnecessarily short chapters really, really, really pee me off when I'm reading. Really takes me out of it. People who don't listen. People who walk slowly in front of you when you're in a rush. There we go. That person, when you're in a rush to get somewhere and you can't get round them because they're weaving in and out, but they're weaving really, really slowly. Those people. Stay to the right-hand side or the left-hand side. Just get out of my way. Just winds me up. Places to be. Simple invention that changed the world. The obvious one's writing and the wheel. Yeah, but do you walk in a straight line? That's the question, because quite often these people sort of weave in and out. They'll be on the phone, so they'll be oblivious to everything else that's going on. See? Sensible. But no. Or people that stop in front of you for no warning. Move. I don't have much patience in real life. You don't walk, you waddle like a penguin, no. I mean that affectionately. You are Pingu. No. Anyway. I think the printing press is the big one. Not so much writing itself. But the printing press, because that allowed education and books to reach a larger group of people, because it could be printed so quickly and get out there. And I think nothing has driven the world more than that until the microchip, which is obviously the microchip in the internet is just insane. But the printing press, I think, is the turning point of civilization, for me personally anyway. Favorite TV show and movies. TV shows quite easy, actually. Oh yeah, I love it. There's a game called Penitent, and it's set in, I think it's Bavaria, I think, during the split of the church, and it has this beautiful sort of handwritten script all the way through it. And it's talking about how the monasteries used to be the center of printing, and they'd individually have to print and do things, and how that moved away being a religious practice. It's actually a really interesting game, which I need to go back to at some point. I've not played that for a while. Right, got sidetracked. TV shows. I have watched TV shows, and I have watched movies. Now, Doctor Who, always been a fan since I was a kid, so I'm going to throw that out there now. New series has just started. It's all right so far, but bizarrely there's two series that I love more than pretty much everything else, and they're both sci-fi. And no one would guess this wrong. One is Battlestar Galactica, the remake from the early 2000s, which has got like Edward James Osmus and Jamie Banda and Trisha Helfer in it. And the other one is a bit of a cult hit called Fringe, which was very X-Files-esque. Yes, Lucy Lawless is in it. Not for very long, but she is in it. Fringe, which I think everybody should watch. I think it's amazing. I find it really interesting that if you like X-Files, you'll like Fringe, Noah. You should definitely check it out if you can get hold of it. The interesting thing about this is these are both sci-fi, and I don't read sci-fi very much for whatever reason. So, yeah, a bit of an odd one. Yeah, it's got God, who's in it? It was the guy who played Denethor in Lord of the Rings. You know, the king that was gorging himself in Gondor and ran off the edge of the cliff. And it's got the guy out of Lost Boys, whose name I can't. Joshua Jackson, is it? Who's in Lost Boys as well. It's also got Leonard Nimoy in it for a couple of episodes. So anything with Leonard Nimoy is worth checking out. So, of course you do, Noah. Of course you do. Movies, Lord of the Rings. Specifically, bizarrely, The Fellowship of the Ring. I watched that about 8 times at the cinema, which says a lot about me, I suspect, at the time. And bizarrely, and don't judge me, I'm a child by nature. The Transformers animated movie from the 80s, which literally broke me, and I still watch it relatively regularly. I don't know what it is, but when the light leaves Optimus Prime's eyes, it was very sad. I have not, however, watched a great deal of other films, as I get a lot of flack for Lion King, which I got shouted at for again the other day. So there we go. Describe yourself with 3 fictional characters. Noah, I asked you this question the other day. Name 3 fictional characters to describe me. And who did you say? Because I was genuinely surprised at your choice. Yeah, but it's the guy from Heartstopper. The guy. I can't remember his name, which says it all, doesn't it? The rugby jock, which I find a curious one for you to suggest. Rugby, not football. Hey, Aylin, you okay? How are you today? Have you had a good day? What are you reading at the moment? Are you still on your Hugo Awards reads? That's just reminded me. I need to watch your video. I started watching it yesterday, and then D&D happened. I need to go back and watch that. So Noah thinks I'm. Oh God, what's his name? Oh, hang on. No. Not Charlie, the other one. What's the other one called? It's bugging me. No, that's the other one. Nick. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm going to take it as a compliment. So, 2 of the characters I picked are... You want cake. You're not allowed cake anymore. You may have nothing. You're not allowed. So the first character I said was Sir Samuel Vines, Lord of Ankh-Morpork and head of the City Watch. And this is because for a number of different reasons. First of all, he's incredibly stubborn. Okay, Long Live Evil. What's I've not heard of that. What's that about? So Sam Vimes has a very strong, what I'd call a moral core, but he's an incredibly flawed individual. He will never break a rule, but he will certainly bend them to the breaking point. Very much like my favourite character in all the Discworld. Who else? I don't really. It's bizarre because I don't really. Oh, in fact, actually, this will make Noah really, really angry. Nick Prasad from the Premier Muhammad Beneath the Rising, which is going to really, really wind Noah up for me saying that. Simply because of the. I feel the sort of put upon nature of the character. Because I felt like that for myself for a long, long time. IRL who's dying, but then a magical outlet to enter the world of her favourite fan. Oh, okay. Well, that sounds quite interesting, actually. Ooh. That's something else for me to check out at some point. Normal person would actually open the notebook and not just write on the top. Well, that'd be my second one. Who was my third one? Who did I say the other day, Noah? Because we did this the other day when we went to Manchester and I spent all my money on things I didn't need. Who did I say was the other one? Okay, I look forward to that. I'll have to come back to that. I can't remember. I did spend it all. What? What was the other cat? Oh, Nynaeve Alvear from Wheel of Time. It was a very, very similar sort of character in a lot of ways to Vimes. Very stubborn. Doesn't really believe in themselves a great deal, but very, very, very protective of those around them. Which anyone who spent any time near me will know that if I like you in any way, shape, or form, which is unusual for me because I hate people. God help anyone that does something to hurt people around me. I have a bit of a reputation for being a bit of a ballistic missile with people at times. So, and that's where that sort of comes in, the sort of the fiery temper that's very directed to protect those around me. So they're my characters for yeah, for that. So there we go. I actually picked 3. I still don't get the Nick Nelson one. I'm going to be honest, no, I don't get it. But there we go. Dream job. I don't have a dream job, bizarrely. I just like working. I get bored if I'm not working. And when I get bored, my brain starts thinking. When my brain starts thinking, it's a mess. I don't really think I have a dream job, and it's always varied quite a lot what my interests are, time to time. So over the years, it's changed quite a lot. So I don't really have a dream job, to be honest. I think the closest I ever got was so the thing is, we're working in retail, right? I'm very jealous of you, Luna, working at a library in many ways. Retail is the best worst job you can ever have. It really is, because it forces you to meet interesting people, and because of the retail that I do, if anyone sees my diet, I should weigh about the same as an African elephant, because all I eat is sugar all day, so which is not good for me. But I've never been very career focused, so the closest I've ever got, many years ago. I don't know. I don't get ill either, Noah, or really get hangovers. And I've never broken a bone. Well, I've never broken one of my own bones. Other people's don't count. I've just got sidetracked again, haven't I? What was I saying? Dream job, right? Yeah. The closest I ever got was many years ago. I had somebody who was encouraging me to become an NVQ assessor / trainer, because one of the parts of my job that I enjoy the most is training people up. And that's the part of the job that I like. I like imparting knowledge and coaching, not teaching, because I can't teach. That's one thing I cannot do. But I can coach if someone's got the best a level of understanding, and I'm very good at that. So something along those lines. But then again, as I've got older, my patience is not what it used to be. So probably wouldn't last very long. Noah, you're going to answer this one for me, and you're going to get it wrong. What's the first spell you would learn if magic was real? What spell do you think it would be, Noah? And you're wrong, but knowing me, what spell would it be? Because I have a reputation for certain things. So, fireball, exactly. I drink fireball, but teleportation. I hate wasting time traveling places. You see, the thing with history and arts is there'll always be something somewhere that will really interest you. You've just got to find it, or stumble upon it. Actually, is generally the way. So mine is, I love ancient history. Don't really read it anymore, but specifically Middle Eastern ancient history. So you're talking about Babylon, Assyria, Hittites, Egypt to a lesser extent as well, and that sort of the Mesopotamian cradle of civilization between the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers fascinates me. I at one point wanted to run a clothing store, and it was going to be called Phoenix Fashions. There we go. That was during a period where I was working in clothing, was what most of my retail career been. But no, I'd love to learn teleportation. I hate having to travel places. I get bored because it feels like wasted time. If I could just zip around, I would be very happy. I'll get more done. Favorite childhood memory? But 17 now, people. This has taken longer than I thought it would be. So I have a few. Childhood memory. Hmm. When I was, God, how old would I have been? A teenager, mid-teenager. Got a friend who works in the ancient Egyptian exhibit at Manchester Museum, who I need to speak to. Actually, not spoken to them for a while, and because they did Egyptology, so they get access to all the back rooms and all the various things that are not on display at the time. That was really interesting. Yeah, I was a teenager, and it was a gorgeous summertime, and it's really, I mean, I should probably say the birth of my kids, really, shouldn't I? No, childhood memory. Get away with that. And I went down to. It was the last game of the season, so I'm a football fan. I love football or soccer, if you want to call it by its incorrect name. Um, and we went to Bournemouth for the last game of the season, which is like a seaside town here in the UK. And I can't remember much about it. I just remember just an innate sense of happiness. I was probably about 15 at the time. Gorgeous sunshine, a really good day out. I can't remember a huge amount about it. I just remember this feeling of being so incredibly happy at the time and unconstrained by everything. I'd have been with your uncle actually, Jenny, because he would have been gone to that one as well. It was just so much fun that whole year in general because it was I used to go to every home match for the team that I support, who are small and insignificant. One of the most enjoyable years of my life, and that end of season in the gorgeous baking sunshine, it was about 30 degrees. I was physically as fit as I'd ever been because I was playing football a stupid amount, not like this podge that I am now. I just felt so happy, and the entire world was in front of us. We did. We did. I still remember your uncle walking through Wigan with certain things over his head like a balloon. So, yes. Favorite social media? I don't really do social media a great deal, so realistically, if you class YouTube as social media, it's probably YouTube. The only other social media I actually use now is X, and I don't really use that a great deal. Um, because it's toxic and hate filled and an absolute nightmare in many regards. But I do still use it. I don't really have spend that much time on there. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Insta. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, to be honest. I believe I warned Knowles about him at one point, just so he was aware. Um, yeah, so probably YouTube for social media, but that's all I really interact with now. I liked TikTok, but I realised how addictive it was, and I pulled myself away from it. And I sort of fall into that bench with YouTube Shorts now. And I've never done Instagram, and I don't want to talk to other people I went to school with, so I don't bother with Facebook anymore. I'm not very social, which I've already said. Which fictional character would you like to bring to life? That's a good one. Randomly though this might be. Talk to you about me playing football. Well, what do you want to know? I was very loud, very aggressive. I nearly got banned from playing it in school, but the teacher liked me, so I got away with it. No, I'm, you had genuine. Oh, my best mate who I snapped his tendons. You mean that one, or do you mean my who comes in and tells you they played football with me? Who? Genuinely, I'm really curious. Who? Because there's only a couple that come in at work that I used to play football with. I'm actually vaguely curious. You're not going to know the names. I don't know why I'm asking you. And he has a family that. Is it the one that wears the flat cap? Oh, tall, short hair. I mean, okay, so if it's who I think it is, it looks considerably older than me. But he's the same age. Ah. Ah, right, okay, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, I used to play football with him as well. Um, never broke his leg or anything. So happy days. Best one was my best mate at the time, who I still speak to now. You see him knocking around where we live. He actually had trials was meant to go on a trial at Manchester City for the youth, and we were just having a friendly kickabout, and I, being me, just did what I would class as a normal tackle and shattered his shin guards and snapped his tendons in his ankle. He still limps now. So yeah, probably a good job I don't play anymore. You know. Favorite fictional character you bring to life. Well, this is actually quite a simple one for me. I would want to fetch Death from the Disc World to life, because he's just such an interesting, dynamic character as he tries to learn what it means to be human, because it's so alien to him. He just doesn't get the concept of it. I find him a fascinating character. I really do. Favorite animal? I am a cat person. No great surprise to anyone. I love most animals, but I am a cat person first and foremost because these are furry food blenders as far as I'm concerned. If they were ugly creatures, we would have exterminated them, but they're not. They're cute and they're fluffy and cuddly for the most part. And because of that, we forget what sort of a killing machine that they are. And I love that. Bruce is okay. Bruce nearly attacked Noah last night. I don't know where he is. I think he's outside. Yeah, all I heard last night was the sort of growl from me. I thought, Noah, stop stroking the kitty. There's kitty gonna bite you because he gets petting aggression. If you pet him quite roughly. So, and at the moment, I think Noah's the only one he hasn't attacked yet. So, yeah. What old person behaviour do I have? Other than standing up too quick and going dizzy. I have so many. I have so many old people habits. I really, really do. The worst one at the moment. What's my current one? My biggest one's with money, actually. This used to cost us. I still go when I go and buy a book. I'm still offended that it's not £5 for a paperback, and it winds me up having to pay more than a fiver for paperbacks. It's like Freddo's, which I don't know if this is a specifically English thing actually or UK thing, but Freddo's were like these little chocolate bars in the shape of a frog. Hey MJ, how are you? What you reading? How's your what month are we in now? Your Mayhem month going? You are always welcome. Um, I'm sharing more of my soul than I probably should do on the internet today. Especially as um, yeah, my biggest old person behavior is money. I'm a penny pincher. That sort of what I'm after stereotype of the man who gets really upset when the thermostat is turned up too high. That is me. Yeah, you do so much. I don't know. You must have more hours in the day over there than we have here for the amount that you get done. It's insane to me. Either that or the quality of your coffee is so much better than mine, which is probably true. But how's the writing going? Going well. Um, or caffeine. Yeah, I'm trying to cut down on my caffeine a little at the moment. I get oh, I'm glad it's going well. I get shouted at when I go to work caffeinated by Noah because he can't cope with me. Because apparently me caffeinated at 5 a.m. is an absolute nightmare to deal with. At 23, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? I don't think ahead. Look, just because I jump out from behind things and go boo, it's not just me. I mean, the manager jumps out from behind things and scares you as well. It's fun. Just dream. So I don't think 5 years out. God, don't do that. Okay. I don't think 5 years ahead. I never have done. I don't have. I'm not organized in that way in terms of the way I do things. I do like big bursts of what interests me and then wander on off to something else. So I could try and make a prediction, but 5 years ago I would never say I'm doing a YouTube channel or any number of things. I don't really think that far ahead. All I know that in 5 years' time, I will only have one child still in school because the other two well, one's already left anyway, and the other one will be hitting 20 at that point. And even my youngest will be going into the last years of school, which is a terrifyingly old person. So, 24. Show an item and describe its significance. I've thought ahead for this one. Well, this is a strange one, so bear with me. I am a little bit. I go through many phases where I just collect information. A lot of the stuff has tended to be occult over the years. And when I was 10, I picked this. It's a piece of. Put it on camera, Neil. Piece of rose quartz. I've had this for many. My grandmother bought me this when we went. God, where had we gone? Probably somewhere in Wales. I can't actually remember where we got it from now. And I've lost this multiple times over the years. It's always found its way back to me. And I know I spoke about mental health on the channel a few times. I struggle a great deal with anxiety. I still do now. And this is, for want of a better term, this is my focus. So quite often, I don't always carry it out with me. But when I need to recenter myself and I need to meditate, this is quite often the thing I use to help focus me. I don't know why. I used to have a piece of normal quartz. Don't know what happened to that one. Much smaller piece. And this is chipped and broken. It's been kicked around playgrounds at school and all sorts. But it's always stayed with me all the years. It's a really minor thing to have. But yeah, a little center stone keeps me, helps center me when I'm having one of my many bad days that I have, although less recently. So there we go. What are you reading at the moment, MJ? Out of curiosity, I'm going through my indie books phase. A month later, because apparently April is the indie month, but I just got to it really. It's overdue being cleansed. So interestingly enough, I was meant to go and start cleansing for Noah's flat recently, about a year ago, because he's convinced he's got a presence there. He doesn't, but he thinks there is. But it's overdue being done, to put it mildly. I'm also really gutted because I was hoping it was unrelated. But the Northern Lights, we've not seen them because all we've had is cloud. And it makes me very sad because I wanted to see the Northern Lights over the last few days. But yeah, I have charged it over the years. Well, used to do it every couple of months, not so much monthly. But I've sort of fallen out of habit with it a little bit, as it sort of waxes and wanes in its importance to me. But it's just a random thing that I've just always kept. I used to have a lot more. I used to have all sorts of crystals and rocks and bump knocking around. So, but yeah, I've actually done the tag video. Woohoo! There's a bonus. Go away. That's on the screen anymore. Oh, vampire! I like vampire stories. The best Northern Lights spirit. Let's take them. Oh, that sounds amazing. Well, tell us a little bit about Thirst then, because I like vampire stories. I like vampires just in general. I know I've got I've realised that I'll be doing my so jealous. We did have them in Manchester, but depending on where you were, it was just too cloudy. Where I was just cloudy, fortunately. So, which is a shame because it's something that would have quite liked to have seen, to be honest. But hey ho, it's what it is. Yeah, I've got a few vampire things to read in July. July, because I know me and Noah are going to do Don't Die July again this year. So we've been going through making our list for that, and I've realised one of the books I've got on the list because it was a cover by and I didn't read the blurb until today. Yeah, I realised it's a vampire story, so I'm even more excited about it now. Told from the female perspective across time, following two women through the ages, one mortal and one vampire. Okay. Abigail, it's that horror film? I don't watch things. That sounds really interesting. That's another list. People keep adding books to my TBR, and unfortunately, I then keep buying books. I've never been to Norway. I've not really been. I don't know what Abigail is. Someone's going to have to explain this to me. Um, I've not been abroad in so long. I do want to get back to America at some point in the next, actually, because I'm just overdue. Actually, they'll send me a trailer. Thank you. Is it the sort of thing that you need your hand holding to watch by any chance? Like the Bogeyman, which we saw last year. Last year, Abigail likes to play with her food. She's a cat. Abigail is a cat, confirmed. Um, so many vampire books. But yeah, we're going to be doing Don't Die July again this year. I will throw the full list of potential books into Noah's Discord at some point. If anyone wants to put themselves in, they read along with that. But yeah, I think that's it. Mainly because I'm back in work at 5 a.m. tomorrow. So this is only going to be a quick. This is to get me over the idea of I can't live stream. I think I would do that too if I were a vampire. Savor my hue. I have questions, Elisa. That's a point. I'll be reading. I'll Sell Your Blood and Fall in Love next month as well. That's one of my Pride reads. Next month I'm doing a Pride month as well. So yeah, there we go. I actually did the live tag. I've done a live stream. I've got over it. So my therapist will be. Go watch the trailer. Have you sent it me, Noah? Not sent it me yet. I can't. Thank you. I mean, the thing is, I do stream occasionally, but over on Twitch, but gaming. Um, yeah, I'll stream gaming over on Twitch occasionally, which is a disaster because I am bad at video games, and that used to be my biggest outlet. Other than, well, it used to be my main outlet ahead of books. Books is a little bit, but I will watch it in a bit and see what I. Oh, he sent it me now. Oh, yeah, I'm not watching that live because I suspect that'll throw me. Oh, thank you, MJ. Thank you for dropping by as well. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I favour lives because I mean, so actually, I'll talk a little bit about the deranged way that I I do videos. Actually, I might as well. Awful. Noah gets really confused at the way that I do things because I do think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Noah, but you do a full. You just record stream of consciousness, right, and then just edit it afterwards, which I think is what most normal people do. I actually break it up, so I'll do lots of miniature recordings. So when I'm doing the breakdown, like even just the intro, I'll do the intro and I'll record the intro like 6 times till I'm happy with it, and then delete. And then I'll do the same with the story multiple times, delete all the ones I don't like. I'll generally keep the last one, mainly because I'll forget how words work, or I'll get something wrong, or like when I was reading genderqueer, I kept getting pronouns mixed up, which I didn't think was a good thing to get wrong in that video. So I'll record in blocks. So when it comes to actually doing the video, there's no editing that needs to go into mine. All I literally do is drop them all into the editing software, which probably shows, and then just add the text onto it and upload. Done. Doesn't take me very long. The recording takes me forever because I get really I don't like myself on camera. That's why I started as YouTube on here. I hate my voice, which I've also said multiple times. So if I start getting all my words mixed up, as I quite often do, it genuinely annoys me. Or I'll do like I did with Hell Followed With Us. That video took about a day to record because I just kept going off on one while I was recording. It ended up being 45 minutes long. Don't quite know how I managed it 45 minutes. But yeah, that's why my videos end up running longer than they're meant to as well, because originally they were only meant to be 10 minutes. Everyone, yes. See, people tell me this, and I don't believe it. I have, what was this, imposter syndrome a little bit? I don't know. I don't know what my therapist would call it. My therapist shouted at me the other day for not having more faith in myself. She didn't shout at me. Not what therapists do. But she was, and actually, just on the side point, this is part of my therapy package for the next 2 weeks. This was one of my activities that we agreed that I would have to do. So I've managed one of my goals for therapy this week. There's a bonus. I don't like talking, and I don't necessarily think my opinion carries that much weight or worth a lot of the time. So I get really annoyed at myself when I'm talking, and I'll end up going, oh, what a waste of time this is. So I have to force myself to make videos a lot of the time. Not force myself because I don't enjoy doing it, but I just sit there thinking, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? But part of the reason I don't vlog, also the fact that my ability with a camera is shoddy at best. Also, that's a point, Noah. When are you putting your vlog video up for the book fair? I presume you're putting it up. Yeah, no, a few people have. That's why I did some of the book readings, because people said Noah has actually heard a unique. Yeah. Why? Oh, throwing it in a bin. Noah, would you like to explain to everyone what my notes look like for my books? For my book reviews? Because I don't make notes. Literally, all I wrote, so for Dragon Rider, which was my last one, my entire amount of notes were the names of the 2 main characters in case I forgot them, and then the names of the 4 locations in the book, just in case I couldn't remember them. That was the entirety of my notes. I don't write notes for anything. I think the first video for the troop I made notes for. It's a bit like for me journaling. I don't journal for a similar reason. I don't put stuff. Oh, thank you, Jen. I don't write stuff down, so it's all from memory. Because actually, the hidden. I skipped the hidden talents. I skipped the hidden talent question. My hidden talent is I just remember things, and it's bizarre because I don't have a great memory in general. But if I have the right thing to remind me, I will remember nearly anything, much to the irritation of people around me that hope that I forget things. But yeah, that's my list for books that we're reading. That is more than I would write on my notes for a book. I might occasionally tab have a book, like I'm doing at the moment for Orphan Planet. I've actually got a couple of tabs in here, just for where there's points of quotes that I might want to come back to, potentially use in my video when I put quotes in there. But just on a side point, I'm really enjoying Orphan Planet as well. It's very British in its sense of humour, I have to say. The description of coffee, or noffee, because it's not really coffee, just it had that sort of low level sardonic bit that reminded me a little bit of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I don't journal because I don't think enough to warrant recording anything. That's why I'm not too present on social media either. I don't feel the need to always have something. No, and that's the thing. And also, there's a lot of people who say things, right? And they probably shouldn't. You know, well, that's unfair. But yeah, would you believe that I'm shy and quiet in real life? I can't wait for Noah to. But yeah, so it's, and the way I like decide which books I've been more organized this year with stuff because I've. All right, well, you have a great day at work tomorrow. I hope you have a good sleep. Thank you for dropping in. I appreciate it. I will watch your video once I'm off as well because I realised I already started one. Hope you have a great sleep, hon. Now, thing is, right, if you put me in a room with a load of people, I will panic and stay in a corner and not talk to anyone. I do not cope well. One-on-one, I'm not too bad, although I hate small talk. So if I don't know someone, I will sit there in silence. I do not mind uncomfortable silences. But a bit of a but yeah, there we go. Wish we could have been on the best to go. I want to go to Scandinavia. In fact, I also want, bizarrely, random place I want to go. I want to go to Bavaria, Germany as well. Now, you see, the thing for me is if I'm in a room full of people, it's work related. So, if you put me in a work environment where I know what I'm talking about, I will be the loud one in that room. Put me in a social environment with people I know from work, D&D doesn't count, and I am incredibly quiet to the level where is it Jaleesa's fault that I'm saying y'all now? Have I picked that up from you? There's a thought, because I've started saying that quite a lot, and I'm not sure if it's me just stealing other people's speeches. But yeah, I want to go to Bavaria as well. I was thinking about this the other day. Actually, that would be the other place I want to go. Is the Black Forest in Bavaria? Or am I misremembering? The Black Forest I want to go to anyway. Yeah, no, right, people. We want to talk about pet peeves, right? Odd socks. No. People shouldn't wear odd socks. Socks should match. I don't understand why there's companies that sell odd socks. And Noah. Stop it. Okay? I'm telling you. Wear paired socks. I don't understand it genuinely. I will throw odd socks away. I don't understand. My kids do this. It's like, what are you doing? No, I will not leave the house if they're wearing odd socks. Oh, Jenny. That's a bit of a dunk. That's a bit of a dunk. I mean, just buy all... Right, okay. Being colourblind isn't an excuse. You throw all your current socks away and you just buy all the same colour sock. And you don't have that problem. And that is genuinely what I do. Yeah, I wear plain socks. That's I don't wear designs or anything. I'm wearing trainer socks at the moment, which I think are just... I don't know. They're very dirty, whatever they are, because I've been wandering around the house in them all day. So they've just picked up all the crap off the floor. But yeah. I think that's my shark sauce. Well, we had a conversation about the meaning of sharks, didn't we? So, Vincent Van Gogh. Yes, your Vincent Van Gogh ones. Yeah, we had a conversation about sharks and gender alignments the other day, I believe. So, I'm just saying, Jenny, if you ever go to IKEA with him, he's going to come out with whatever that shark's called from there. I think it begins with a B. I can't remember. But I can only wear printed in the house. I'm already big and tall. Last thing I need is printed socks to get the attention. See, people don't notice me. I just sort of materialise near people and then they scream. So I can't remember what that shark's called. It's really, really bothering me. I do it in work where, considering I'm 6'2", I think. I am quite tall. I just materialise in space. There's a shark they sell at IKEA. Let's see. It's called Blahage. Hang on, let me just... Yeah, I'll send you a link for it, Jenny. There we go. And then you can have a look at the monstrosity that is Blahage. The first time I heard of it was for a VTuber, because I watch far too much VTuber stuff. I was actually going to pay for a proper VTuber avatar at one point, and then I just got drunk and decided to just record. So, right. First off, is that meant to say devoed? The 90s wants its words back, mate. Right. Are you trying to spell Brontosaurus or Brachiosaurus there? Because Bronchosaurus isn't a type of dinosaur. Just so you know. So, which one is it? I mean, first off, rad is a 90s word. Okay. I got it's a long neck. Okay. So that doesn't narrow it down that much. What we'll go with you want a sauropod, because that's the name of the family that had the long necks and the long arms of dinosaurs. You want a sauropod, Teddy. Okay. He has put two dinosaurs together. Although, if I remember correctly, Brontosaurus and Brachiosaurus are the same dinosaur. It was misclassified as two different species. I think it was those two. I don't care enough to look it up. You're still not spelling it right, but okay. I like dinosaurs. I've still got my dinosaur books actually. Maybe that's something to read as a non-fiction book at some point. Actually, do you know what else annoys me? Sorry, another pet peeve. Jurassic Park, right? Velociraptors. No, they're not that big. Velociraptors are not much bigger than a large chicken. The dinosaur in Jurassic Park is a Deinonychus, or possibly a Utah raptor, which is slightly different. Same family, but the fact they just used the wrong name, they may have had feathers. We're not sure, because most feathers just don't. No, they couldn't fly. The first feathered dinosaur they discovered was Archaeopteryx, which is from the Jurassic period, interestingly enough. I think that's probably when they started to develop feathers. It was only like that big. And we think it looked a bit like a Quetzal, like with the bright plumage. So it's a lot of people think it had like red and green and blue, almost like parrot-like plumage. Interesting that it didn't have the sword. Also, technically, flying reptiles weren't dinosaurs. Pterosaurs weren't actually dinosaurs. and neither were the ones that lived in the sea weren't dinosaurs either. They were all totally separate. Dinosaurs only described the land animal, even though they used the saw, which means lizard in Latin, as the denominator for a lot of the naming. So there we go. Useless facts. I have so many useless facts. And the first dinosaur discovered was Megalosaurus, or at least officially discovered, which means great lizard. So I am a nerd. I know so much pointless, useless information. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, that was a bit of a tangent, wasn't it? Talking about dinosaurs and sharks and stuff like that. But yeah. I think I'm going to leave. I'm not going to do. I was toying with the idea of doing a reading sprint tonight, but I'm not going to. I'll save that for another video, and I will have a play about with this overlay, which I've a really annoying sort of white thing down there. It doesn't show that on the other picture, and I'm not sure why. Yeah, I'm not doing a read. Mainly, right. There's two reasons I'm not doing a reading sprint. Number one is because I'm getting up in 7 hours for work, and whilst I don't need more than 3 hours sleep, I am on a 10-hour day tomorrow because I'm working a 5 till 3. But I will do reading sprints. The whole idea of this was to get me over the sort of hump I would actually start doing reading sprints. But also, I don't think I want to try and read because I think I'll give myself a migraine. So what I'm probably going to do is carry on listening to The Ritual, which I know Jaleesa read it recently. Yep, 5 a.m. till 3 p.m. I like early starts. I'm an early morning person. I don't like lates. I also don't like sleep. So, but yeah, I'm currently listening to The Sacrifice by Rin Chapeko, which I really, really do like. It's quite slow. It's who I can't see who the audio actually on there. Give me a second. Who did the audio for it? That's the wrong button. Not what I wanted to do at all. Pan Bandu, who's done audio for a number of horror books as well. I don't know why. I've got this for free until the 17th. And I don't know why. Because I know Jaleesa mentioned it in... Was it in Cat's reading sprint the other day? You mentioned it? Was it Cat's or was it Noah's? And I went to check it out and I noticed that it was giving it me for free. Yeah. I do quite like the God, I can't remember the character's name. The main character's sort of religious, no. The sort of romantic subplot bizarrely going on between the main character and Chase. I do quite like that. That feels quite authentic actually, which has surprised me. I do. The idea of a jealous island monster spirit who doesn't understand and what is trying to protect someone is quite interesting as well. I know that's not the main push of the thing. I'm about 65% of the way now, so stuff is happening. But this is exactly the sort of horror I like. I like my very slow build horror. Alon, yeah, that's it. They're actually quite a cool couple. I actually quite like the sort of dynamic that Chase has with his friends as well, who are trying to push him towards that sort of relationship / hookup. Really, probably not going to do a full review on it because I've got to do Fahrenheit 451 first. My God, I just said that the American way. Fahrenheit 451 I've got to do first. Which, in case nobody's checked it out already, if you want a really good video about that book Chat with Pat did a really, really good one about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And that goes into a lot of detail about the... What's it called? The actual... banning information that I never knew, for example, that the actual publisher censored it. without the author's knowledge quite early on. So a lot of stuff with that book. I've read that. What's my next one I'm reading? Mouse. Has everyone heard of Mouse? Never put it. It mustn't be up here. Oh, it's over there. It's too far away. I'm reading the graphic novel Mouse as well for the next few weeks, which is going to be a test of my mental condition, I suspect, because that's a Holocaust story. Yeah, it's Kieran spotted it yesterday when he came. He said reading that's a really good shout. He's a massive fan of it. That's my next banned book, and then obviously I've got quite a few for next month that are on the banned books list. So cracking on with that one. And obviously next month is Pride Month, so there's going to be a lot of Alphabet Mafia books. Well, they're pretty much all going to be Alphabet Mafia books next month, with the exception of the Ladarian Williams one that's just come out because it takes a while to get here. So I bumped into Fahrenheit 451 and I had the issue that I kind of suspected I was going to, that I do not do well with classic literature. I've never seen the movie, actually. But I hate that point where I'm similar to when I tried reading what was it called? Hangs a Man by House on Haunted Hill woman, Shirley Jackson, which I need to go back to and finish at some point. I've not finished it yet. I just really do struggle, and I think it's the way that I read. I kind of skim read. But yeah. So Pride Month next month. That takes us to the midpoint of the year. I'll hit 60 books for the year so far this week as well, which is ridiculous. So loads of Pride books. I'm after recommendations as well. So if there's any Pride books anyone would like to recommend, let me know, because yes, I have a lot anyway. I bought more books as well, Jaleesa, just so you know. Since I did my book haul, I've bought more books since then. So yay for my bank account. Amazon did the thing where it gave me a estimated delivery time, and I'd pre-ordered it because it was a new release, and it told me that it was going to arrive between July and November. And then it gave me a different date and a different date, and then it turned up on May the 10th, which is just ridiculous. So well done, Amazon. But at least you got it to me. And then, yeah, we have Don't Die July, which is the horror month that Noah started last year, and then I jumped on and branded it because I like naming things. And we have a couple of things that I think we're buddy reading, potentially. Yes. Okay, I didn't know that about the author. Yeah, it is mentioned in the book that they don't identify as male or female. The main character, whose name I've already forgotten, Aelon. Yeah, we're doing Don't Die. I need to sort the trailer for that, actually. I'll sort that at some point. I've got plenty of time. But we have quite a list. How many books did we... 15. Between us, we've got 15 books at the moment. So I think we're going to try and do a bingo card. I don't know if anyone's seen. Because obviously a lot of people are doing May Horror Mayhem for this month. And I know that MJ has done like a bingo card sort of thing to... Yeah, you all know how bingo works. Yeah, well, like I said, I'm going to actually, in Noah's Discord, I'm going to make a tab somewhere and put book recommendations in for it. Like I say, I have a few already. I'm looking forward to Silver Nitrate. It's the one I'm really looking forward to. That's been on my list for quite a while. That is the one that broke my book buying ban in December. Because it was 99p on Kindle, and it was already on my list of books that I really, really wanted. And that was it. Then floodgates open, and I bought everything. But I presume you mean Silver Nitrate. Or is there a book called Blood Nitrate? Is there a book called Blood Nitrate? Is there a book called Blood Nitrate? I'm curious now. I really need a better desk. I've just realised as well, because Silver Nitrate's but it's linked to, is it film, TV, something like that? I think, if I remember correctly. But this is also a horror that related to the films and film recording. Nap is always good. And then I've also got Channel Fear to read as well, which I've had on my shelf. I think I meant to read that back in October, which I'm probably not doing a horror October this year. But we're also doing a spice month as well in September, so that's going to be fun. Noah's going to do the trailer for that one. I ain't designing that trailer whatsoever. But yeah, I'll throw all that stuff anyway into the Discord probably tonight, actually, to be fair, with the list of books that I've got on there. And obviously we have a Chuck Tingle as well coming out in July. Not the sort of Chuck Tingle that Noah recommends to people in work, but we have Bury Your Gaze coming out by Chuck Tingle, which is another film related. Oh, that's interesting because it's not. Oh, there we go. Which is another film related horror, actually. Hadn't realised that, but yeah. Yep, there's going to be a saucy September or September Spice Fest. I'm not quite sure what we're going to call it yet. And I think, am I really going to read smut? Noah, I read Butcher and Blackbird, okay? And I'm not reading it out loud on here because I will get banned by YouTube, okay? Also, Noah is recording, he's going to read Butcher and Blackbird, and he's going to record his live reactions to it. Because he is going to go a shade of red, not seen outside of a star going supernova. I suspect. So, yes, I'm going to read smut. Not the same sort of smut that you read. You know, there ain't going to be any Morning Glory milking farm going on here. But, yeah, we will come up with a list for that. I mean, to be fair, the third the third guides for dating vampires will be one of those books as well, which I plan to hit in September. And then, although I will have to take a break actually in September because my two most anticipated books of the year both release at the start of September, although I have a bit of a lead time on them actually getting here. He Can Go Redder. Would I get away with reading anything from this book live? Oh, Robin Hobb books. Jaleesa as well. I'm trying to get Noah to read Robin Hobb. I know you're a massive fan. Please encourage him while I try and find this. Right, I mean, you know what? I'm going to read the content and trigger warning. I'm just going to read this. So, as much as Butcher and Blackbird is a dark, romantic comedy and will hopefully make you laugh through the madness, it's still dark, which it is. Please read responsibly. If you have questions about this list, please don't hesitate to contact me at brynweaverbooks.com or on one of my social media platforms. So, this is the actual trigger warnings. Eyeballs and eye sockets. Amateur surgery. Skin ornamentations. Chainsaws, axes, knives, scalpels. A lot of sharp objects. accidental cannibalism, not so accidental cannibalism, questionable use of a mummified corpse, lobotomized manservants, ill-advised use of kitchen implements. I'm sorry about the cookies and cream ice cream. I'm not really. Detailed sex scenes which include, but are not limited to, cock warming, rough sex, praise kink, anal, adult toys, choking, spitting, dom-sub interactions, and genital piercings. References to parental neglect and child abuse, parental loss, not depicted. References to child sexual assault, not in detail. It's a book about serial killers, so there are some generally messed up murders and chaos. So, Tamora Pierce. That name rings a bell, actually. I need a better desk than this. This desk wobbles far too much. I also saw one outside the charity shop yesterday, actually, when I was walking through Tamara. Wow, am I spelling this wrong? Robin Hobb, the Assassin's books. Am I spelling Tamara wrong? Oh, I am, because it's Tamora, not Tamara. Ooh. Let's have a look. Wild Magic sounds familiar. I don't recognize. Okay. Well, there's one called Wild Magic, so that would probably be. Okay. Huh. Hey, Witchy! It's okay. How are you doing? How I've not watched your video yet. How was I saw your thumbnail that the series of I can't remember the name of the book broke you. Is that a good broke or a bad broke? Just out of curiosity. Can't remember the name of the book, which is gonna bug me because it's been everywhere the last few months. One day? Not one day. Called bugging me. Yeah, it's one day. I did remember it correctly. Woohoo! I have a memory. Good broke. So I'm going to assume better than the book, definitely better than the film. Then, which is good to know. So was it? I presume then this isn't a one-to-one retelling like the film pretty much was. Then I'll find out when I watch your video. It'll be fine. But how are you doing? What are you reading right now? Far, far better for me. It's a book that I will never read. I will be completely honest. I did have to look up the accent that Anne Hathaway used in the movie, and apparently it's Yorkshire. And I listened to it, and I was very, 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 very tempted to send it to Noah's friend, really more than mine, who's from Yorkshire, and say, "Do you all sound like this?" to see just how offended he would be. It was not good. It was not a good accent. But I'm glad at least one of the three was good for you. But what are you reading at the moment? What are you currently working through? It's the movie version of One Day, which came out like 2012. Yes. Oh no. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. Gotta sound like Noah. That's. Oh, I hope it passes quickly, hon. I'm technically hungover today. Well, I'm not now. I've got over the hangover part, but we had D&D last night, and yeah, I made a spirited attempt to give myself alcohol poisoning, because I've not drank for a while, and Sambuca's not good apparently when you've not drank for a while. Who knew? Oh, I'm sorry that you're not feeling good, hon. Hope you get over it quickly though. But I would love to know what you have been reading anyway. So Sorry, I'm just like I've missed something somewhere. Yeah, no, I'm trying to get Noah to read Robin Hobb because I still think they're possibly up there in terms of some of the best fantasy I've ever read. But he's still not read Lord of the Rings. So he Wondrous Journey. Oh right, okay. I have Arabian Nights on my shelf. I have a folio edition of it, which has just sat there for about 20 years unread, which I will probably actually have to pull down at some point. How are you finding it so far? You enjoying it? I was just saying I'm going through my indie books, wobbly desk. So I'm reading Orphan Planet at the moment, which I'm enjoying, by Rex Burke, and The Ritual by, oh god, what's the name? Rin something. Rin Chapeko, which I'm really enjoying. Which this is Jaleesa's fault that I found that one. So I'm tempted to actually buy the book, to be honest, once I've finished reading it, listening to it. But like I tend to do that. If I like something, I'll then go out and buy it. I did it with Butcher and Blackbird. I actually have bought, it was on Kindle Unlimited, but I've then bought the thingy book. I'm tempted to actually buy the physical book as well, especially if the next one comes out next month, I think. Actually, it's out pretty soon. So, oh, pardon me. But, yeah, I think that's it. I'm not doing any reading sprints. I'm in work at 5 in the morning, so I'm reading it for Asian Readathon. I'm enjoying it so far. The one before this was The Eyes Are the Best Part. So Noah is picking up that book. He's very excited to get to that. So I think he's reading that because we're doing Don't Die July again, which is our horror month that Noah started last year. Well, I lost my voice then. That Noah started last year, so I think he's reading it for that. I think he is. So, yeah, he's not the sort of book that I'd read, I don't think. Because I think I have come to terms with the fact that me and extreme horror extreme horror do not go very well together. Although I'm reading Psychic Teenage Bloodbath 2 as well in July. Yeah. So the whole reason I started BookTube, right, was Noah lent me The Troop by Nick Cutter, which is not a good book. We will never agree on this. Because Noah really likes it. It genuinely annoyed me. And we were talking about it because he was trying to get me back into reading. He lent me that and Beneath the Rising, which he hated and I liked. And there was some squishy body horror in that, which was a bit cringe-worthy, to put it mildly. But that book just irritated me so much, on so many levels. I might actually reread it and redo my review of it at some point, actually. Might do, because I went back and listened to my audio of it recently, and oh boy. You do love your body horror, and we have discussed why I think that. Do you know what? You should read. Oh, no, you shouldn't, actually. That would be a terrible idea. Ignore what I was about to say. Yeah, no, you shouldn't read that. It's fine. Yeah, I still can't get over the Clown Hunt that I read most of last year by Judith Sonnet. Just because of that one death scene in there. Yeah, it's very hit and miss for me. I don't like really gory stuff on screen either, to be honest. I don't know what it is. It's just not for me particularly. Well, like the Clown Hunt was really, really graphic. Had some. They literally had scene in there with someone cheese gratering a child's leg off. And then that wasn't even the worst thing in there. There's a point in there that's called the wishbone scene, which I will not describe on here because it just makes me feel sick. That made me put the book down. It's the first time something in, and you going in, this is the sort of book it is. still made me put down. And I won't mind. It was a good. If you're a fan of extreme horror, you'd probably like it. Not for me. I think you've read Judith Sonnet, haven't you, Noah? Last year, I'm sure you did. You read something that you quite liked, and were slightly freaked out by. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, fingernails. I can't remember. You read something last year by Judith Sonnet. I can't remember what it was. It was during your Extreme Horror Month. I can't remember what the book was called. But I think you should potentially read Clown Hunt, actually, if you can deal with the Wishbone death scene. I've told you what that is. And it's, well, no. Magic, that was it. Yeah, which I think you like that, from what I recall. Dead Inside. Did you read that recently? Was that a recent read of yours? Dead Inside. That sounds like me. Chandler Morrison. No, just... Why does Goodreads just... No, oh, yeah, Splatterpunk. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I do like the last line of the blurb. This is not for the faint of heart or weak of stomach or anyone who enjoyed 50 Shades of Grey. I do like that. Yeah. Not going to read that. No. I think I remember it flagging up when you read it and I looked at it and went, nope. In fact, no, I put it on my... No, I've not. Thought I'd put it on my want to read shelf. No, I haven't. It's got... I like the skeleton cover of it quite a bit. Actually, it's a pretty cover. It wouldn't quite get me to cover buy it, which is probably a good thing. And I'm not allowed to cover buy anymore. Because I cover bought, in fact, I'll go grab it. So I bought more books. Well, that was the thing. The Sonnet book was a really, really, really good example of what splatterpunk can be. There was just one scene, and it made me feel uncomfortable. And that's the point of it. It's meant to be edgy and make you feel uncomfortable. But there was one scene that was just that step too far. So, I mean, I have read a page of 50 Shades of Grey, and it was one of the most painful literary experiences of my life. That's my latest book that I've picked up. This is I don't even know what it's about. It's another one that's a cover by, unsurprisingly, because cover by. What else have I got coming this month? What's Jalisa, you'll remember because you remember things. Is it Blood of the Roots? The new one that got quite you know what, I can find it on here probably quicker. Got quite a quick following online by Ladarian Williams. Oh, you say, I don't know. Okay, oh, actually, I'm going to say this here, then Noah can't squirm his way out of this. So, there's a Twilight musical, first of all, coming to Blood at the Root, yes, which I believe is out now. It's about 4 weeks for me to get it here, so I won't get it till the end of the month, but I'm really looking forward to that. I do have it on order. The price has jumped a hell of a lot. Yeah, you're not getting out of it, Noah. It's jumped a hell of a lot on Amazon. You can't get it through the normal bookstores here. So I've got that coming, and then I've got the follow-up's the only one left coming as well, which I'll read next month for Pride Month anyway. But yeah, so me and Noah, later on this year, I don't know when, are going to be reading Twilight. I think specifically one of us is reading, because there's a version from Edward's point of view, isn't there? So one's reading Edward's point of view, one's reading Bella's. We haven't decided who's reading what yet, but Noah has said he would never read these books. And now he is. So, yay. He is. Yeah, I mean, I've seen the first movie and it was terrible, and I never wanted it. And then I've seen clips of the later ones, and God, what's his name? What's the Welsh guy called, Jenny? I've forgotten his name. Yeah, I believe it is only one. So therefore, I'm reading that, and Noah's reading the trilogy. Yeah, I have Michael Sheen. Thank you. The scenes of Michael Sheen in that just made me go, no. The books are better than the movies, but that's not saying much. Yeah, there's I'm tempted to actually buy tickets for there's a Twilight musical coming to the Bridgewater Hall in Manchester in September this year, and I'm half tempted to make Noah go and just take him with me and force him to sit through it. Well, I probably won't because I don't believe in that level of torture. But yeah, the idea of Twilight as a musical fascinates me. It really, really does. Is there a version of the book? I believe there is. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, didn't Twilight start off as Harry Potter fan fiction? Or am I misremembering that? And then it sort of got ported sideways into vampire thing. And actually, I think it's worth mentioning how so actually there's booked in watch the movies. I've not watched the movies, unsurprisingly. Was it? Okay. I don't know. Where have I seen that? I've seen that somewhere that was originally a fanfic. I don't know why. That's a point. No, we need to do fanfic reading again as well at some point. I was going to say something and my brain's just gone sideways and come back again. Hang on. Drunk, right. What movie does everyone like to watch when they're drunk? Because I think most people have a drunk movie that they like to watch. Out of curiosity. Was it Cassandra Clare's? Okay. I mean, I have never known a Spanish class where anyone actually learnt Spanish. But I think that might just be a UK thing. I did German and can't speak a word of it anymore. So I like Little Shop of Horrors. I do. Mine is Deadpool, bizarrely. I don't know what it is. The last very much Deadpool's become a Christmas tradition when I don't have the kids, where I'll get absolutely paralytic and watch Deadpool, and I find it so much funnier, and I don't know why. I do like cartoons. I watched Rat Race drunk recently. I enjoyed that one. Road Trip's another. I loved that from when I was a kid. And the last film I saw at the cinema when I was drunk was The Last Jedi. And then I watched it sober and hated it even more. I hated it when I was drunk. And then I hated the last Star Wars movie even more because it didn't stick with what The Last Jedi tried to do. I just found that really insulting even though I hated the movie. But yeah, there we go. So movies that I've actually seen. I've not been to the cinema in ages. The last time I went with you, Noah, by any chance? Was it with you? I had to hold your hand? Oh no, it would have been D&D movie. Last one I saw at the cinema, which was over a year ago. Jesus. It's a scary thought. Was it the D&D movie? Or did we go see a horror one together? As well? Did you see a horror one at Trafford? Can't remember. I know we went to see The Bogeyman, which was an experience. What was the other one we went to see? Was that the last one we saw? Oh, no, I'm thinking of the one with Kevin Bacon in it. In The Mask. When we went to see Warrington, where he kept smacking your PlayStation off the walls like an idiot. So, Yeah, I think it was D&D movie, then the Bogeyman movie, and then Black Phone. That was a weird movie. I'd decide if it was good or not. Actually, but that was the last time I went to the cinema. Long time ago. But yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling, so I'm going to stop rambling now because I'm in work at daft o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to leave it there. I will be doing reading sprints at some point. We need to go watch another film altogether, maybe a horror one. Is there any decent horror ones coming out? Don't pay any attention. I don't even know what films are out now. Black Phone wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It had some interesting ideas to it, but the highlight was Noah, because Noah's a bit jumpy, to put it mildly. So there was a few occasions where I literally got grabbed when he jumped, which was yeah, it didn't help my levels of tension just being, you are wee little, and yes, you are jumpy. He's not good. It's not good. For someone who likes horror, I find it fascinating how jumpy he is. But never mind. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I said that nearly an hour ago. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you, everybody, though, for dropping into Baby's first. Yes, you did turn to put the popcorn down. But thank you to everyone for dropping in for Baby's first book YouTube live stream. I appreciate all of you. And yeah, I will do a reading sprint probably quite soon, actually. So we'll see how that will be. But thank you, everyone. I hope you all have a good night, day, afternoon. Witchy, I hope you feel better soon as well. Angelisa, I really do hope that work goes quickly for you and is not horrible. I appreciate you dropping in. This was literally part of my therapy plan for this week, was to do this. So yeah, I'm now going to go and curl up into a corner and continue dealing with my low level of hangover that I still have. So, huzzah! But thank you for dropping by. Hope you all have a great rest of your day, night, whatever. And I will catch everybody very, very soon. Love you all. Catch you soon.